New 72 Radio, the voice, views, and visions of the collective.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Talk Time with Debby and Theresa. I'm Debby Wallace.
I'm Theresa WolfSilva.
And this month, we're doing a past life regression for you to watch.
It's a fun way to experience what a past life regression is and is a form of
Healing.
Past
life regressions, we call them PLRs, can be used for a number of things. You can use them to heal issues in your life that you don't understand why you have them, or you can look at relationships that you have with other people and why they work or they don't work. Sometimes you've had a past life with somebody and
there are issues that have developed and they've carried through to this life.
Right. And so sometimes this can give you an opportunity to relook at the relationship, and then you can release the negative energy and move forward. I've been very successful in doing that technique for people, and it's made a world of difference in their life.
Right.
You can also address health issues that I had one client who came in and she had always had issues with her neck. And we regressed her and found out that she had died, and she had died by hanging. And once she realized that, she was able to release that, and no more
neck pain.
No more neck pain. So anyway, that's what we're doing today. But before we do that, I would like to make some announcements, or Theresa will.
I'll make some announcements.
Cool.
To begin with, in November 5th and 6th, Ed Owens with the Grief Recovery Program will be doing a weekend-long grief recovery workshop. Information can be found both on our Facebook pages, Debby Wallace or Theresa WolfSilva, or Ancient Mystic Moon, both Facebook page and website.
Or directly from Ed Owen.
Directly from Ed Owen on Facebook. We will have it out there, and we will also have some flyers available if you want to stop by here at Ancient Mystic Moon. As far as that goes, Ancient Mystic Moon every Tuesday has Tenderfoot Tuesday. This is a fun 1 to 4 open sessions. We have no scheduled appointments. You can experience reflexology, Reiki, chakra clearings, rune readings, just small 20, 30-minute session for $20. No scheduling. When the sign is outside we are up and ready to go. You can just stop in.
And if nothing else, stop in, have a cup of tea, check out all of the services. We love to see you pop in and say hi.
Right. And our brochures are here, and any flyers that we are for upcoming events will be here.
We just finished doing the Celtic Fair, and it was so much fun. It was in Hillsborough. All the vendors at that fair were in costume, and so were actually a lot of the people that walked through. It was so much fun. We did rune readings all day, and we had some beautiful, beautiful hand-worked copper pieces from the alchemist Lair, Kelly Lair. And what else? We had candles from Jamie Rayleigh, The Art of Awen.
Right, and we had beautiful staffs that Debby Wallace made.
Yes, we had some really great
They were
walking
very
sticks.
gorgeous.
All made out of juniper, I might add. Thanks to my dad. Thanks, Dad. So anyway, let's go ahead.
Well, I have one more.
One more?
Okay. October 19th, we're going to have a gallery, past life regression gallery. And what this consists of is you bring your notebook, a friend, and for $20 from 10 to noon, you are able to experience for yourself a past life regression. It's done in a group, so it's not personally directed to something specific, but it is a wonderful way to experience past life regressions for your first time.
Yes,
in fact, that's how I did it. I think that's how you did it too.
That is exactly how I did it. It's non-threatening,
Right.
and it's a lot of fun. You're welcome to share afterwards, and that's always fun. But you don't have to share. Sometimes things tend to be a little more private,
Right.
and that's fine too. It's whatever works for you is basically. But the most important thing is that you'll be able to actually experience a past life regression for yourself and decide if you want to explore that option further. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the past life regressions. And thank you again all for joining us.
Right. We'll see you next month, November. Thank you.
And find your feet planted in another time and another place. Now just take a moment to let the picture develop for you, getting a sense of where you're at. And please notice if you're indoors or outdoors.
Outdoors.
Is it daytime or nighttime?
Daytime.
Okay, and look around and tell me what you see.
I'm on the deck. Ship. Looking around, I see all the wood, the railings, rigging. I'm on the top deck. I'm on the main deck.
Are you male or female?
Male.
And what are you doing on this ship?
Swabbing the deck.
You're swabbing the deck. Are you alone?
Not now. There's others there working, cleaning the deck, swabbing. It's the it's a stone, not on a stick, not on a pole that you. It's like a cleaning stone. There's several of us that are working in a gang.
And how are you dressed?
Got kind of canvas-like pants on. It's down to mid-calf and loose shirt. And some kind of a hat, a soft hat. It's not a fancy hat or anything like that, like an officer's hat. It's just a soft, almost like a beret, but not quite the same.
Do you have a sense of where your ship is at?
Boston.
So do you have a sense of the time that you are on the ship? The year?
17. I want to say 1776.
Okay. And do you have a sense of what your name is?
Andrew.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Andrew, I'd like to learn a little bit more about you. So I'd like for you to go back to a time in this lifetime that you were 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And please tell me where you're at.
Ireland. County Cork.
And are you alone?
No, I have my father, mother, and 4 or 5 siblings.
And where do you fall in the lineup with these siblings, from oldest to youngest, as far as age?
I'm the youngest.
Okay. And who is in the room with you?
My father is there, and my mother is there, and the whole family's there. It's like there's a fire in the fireplace, and there's no dishes on the table or anything, so it must be after the evening meal.
And what are you all doing?
Oh, we're dancing. Yeah, my father's playing the fiddle, and his kids are dancing around, and my mother's clapping her hands to the tune.
That sounds like fun. So it's a happy time?
Yeah.
That's nice. Okay, so is there anything else that you'd like to share about
The
this
name's
time?
McGinty.
Mackenzie?
No, McGinty.
McGinty.
Yeah.
What does your father do for a living?
He's the mayor.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, let's move forward. Is there anything else that you'd like to say about this time?
Yeah, it's not a rich family, but we're not a poor family. And he works also. I mean, he's the mayor. Yeah, he's either a blacksmith or a carpenter. I can't. Maybe he's both. I keep going back and forth.
Okay, that's really nice. Okay, well, let's move ahead, Andrew.
And let's move ahead 5 years. And tell me where you are.
Still in Ireland, but I'm looking at a whole harbor full of ships. And looks like we're packed up and ready to take a ship to America. We're on a dock, and we've got a bunch of boxes and stuff, and the whole family's together there.
And why is your family leaving for America?
And better prospects, better future for the kids, the siblings, and me. Everybody seems to be going to America. There's a lot of ships and there's a lot of people leaving.
Okay. How do you feel about leaving?
Very excited. Myself and my siblings are excited. My mother and father are kind of resigned, but they're also trying to keep us all together. And it's like they don't want to leave Ireland, but they have to.
Do your parents, either of them, remind you of someone who is in your present life as Tim?
No, I can see my father very clearly. He's got bushy hair that's graying, and he's got a big gray beard. But I don't recognize him as anybody I know in this lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see my mother in a dress, and she's got her hair tied back. And her hair's grayish. But I don't connect.
Okay. That's fair enough. Okay, so let's go back to the dock, and you guys are ready to board a ship. Is there a specific ship that your family will be boarding? Do you have the name of the ship?
I want to say Barnaby. It looks like Barnaby.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to share about this time when you're getting ready to board the ship?
Oh, we're on the ship. We're at sea, and there's a big storm. It's pretty rough.
How long have you been on the ship?
2 weeks. And it's stormy, and the ship's rolling around in that.
Okay.
But it's like I'm on the deck observing the storm. But why I would be there, I don't know.
Okay. Okay, how has the trip been so far up to the storm?
This is the first storm. It was good for about 12 days. It was pretty smooth, and then this last couple of days it started getting stormy.
Okay.
And it's at night right now, and pretty good sized waves and that. And the ship creaks and groans. We're all kind of scared. We're huddled down in our room below deck.
Tell me about the provisions that you have. How's the food?
It's pretty simple. There are a lot of stews and that, a lot of soups and stews and stale bread and that. We're not the top passengers. You know, so they get meat and eggs and stuff like that, and they just cook. I see turnips and potatoes in a stew, like soup. It's good. It's hot. It does taste okay, and it's filling. So.
Okay, and how about the quarters that you stay in?
Well, we're all in one room, and there's like bunk beds, and there's like bunk beds on 3 sides of the room, and so each one of us kids sleep together. The oldest sleeps by himself, and I'm not quite sure how it's going.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There's 5, 7 of us, and there's 3 bunk beds, and I guess it seems like we change every night, sleeping what bed we want to be in, or except for mom and dad, of course, mother and father are there. But it's still kind of adventure.
So how do you kids entertain yourselves throughout the day and throughout the time?
Well, we play games when it's nice out and we're on deck. We run up and down the deck and play, tag or different games. And then when it's not out, we're in our room. Mother reads to us.
So she knows how to read them.
Mostly Bible stuff, but there's some other books. She reads to us, and Dad plays his fiddle and smokes his pipe, and that. So
very good. Well, let's go to a week before you land in America, and tell me how the trip is going.
We're under full sail, and it's today is kind of sunny and kind of overcast. It varies back and forth. There's a lot of clouds, but it's not raining, and it's fairly warm. We're on deck. We got coats on, so it's not overly warm, but it's more tolerable than it was when it was stormy. And adults are walking around the deck and looking at things. I think they're kind of anxious to see land, so they're looking out for land, and there's some dolphins swimming alongside the ship, and nobody's ever seen dolphins before. Didn't know what they were till some of the crew members told us what they were.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get to the harbor where you're going to land and tell me where you're at.
I think we're at Philadelphia. That's the name I'm seeing.
Okay, you get off the ship,
Yeah.
and then where do you go?
We go to, we get on a wagon, all our stuff, and we go to a house out in the country, a farm, like a farm. And I don't know if my father and mother bought it or we're renting it or what the situation is, but we're moved into this 2-story house. Got a big fireplace in it that my mother cooks on, and of course it heats the house. And there's a wooden stairway going up. It's kind of cut into the log walls. And it just had, and then there's no railing. It's just half-cut board, half-round trees, and like they've been cut into the side, and that's the stairs going up to the loft, and that's where it is. It's a big loft up there, and that's where everybody sleeps, except for the parents. They're in a room. They got a room downstairs, so all his kids are upstairs. It's like a dormitory thing, big open room.
Mm-hmm. Are your siblings all brothers, or do you have sisters as well?
2 sisters, 3 brothers, and we sleep on straw mattresses on the floor.
Uh-huh. Okay. Very cool. What time of year is it?
It's fall.
Fall? Okay. Do you have animals to take care of?
Yeah, we have goats and a horse for plowing, and we have a couple of cows, milk cows, and chickens. And a dog, and some cats that stay outside. And we have 2 pigs.
Okay. It sounds like enough to keep you busy. So let's go ahead and let's move ahead to when you're 15. And tell me where you're at.
I'm on a dock, getting ready to come aboard a sailing ship. As a deckhand. And I got a bag with my personal stuff and that.
Have you had any formal schooling?
Mostly self-taught. not self-taught, homeschooled, because we had to work on the farm all the time. Some education in a one-room schoolhouse in the country where we lived. But a lot of schooling had to be put behind to, work on the farm and that. And especially as older boys moved and went off, then I had to stay and do more. We all had to work. Because my father was older and my mother, and so he couldn't do as much work on the farm, so we had to stay.
Are there children, siblings younger than you?
No.
Okay, then what made you decide to go sign on as a deckhand?
The sisters got married, and were off living with their husbands, starting their own family. The older brothers were gone.
Are your parents alive?
I don't know. I think my father's passed.
Okay. It's okay. So you've decided to join a ship.
Yeah. It's not a warship. It's a trading ship. Well, running goods and picking up goods. And it's first time I've been on a ship since we came over, but they were advertising in I don't want to say newspaper, but on a waybill in the little town. They tack up notices and that on a thing for everybody to look at, and they were asking for able-bodied men to fill a shortage.
Mm-hmm. And what's the name of the ship that you're about to embark on?
Not sure.
Okay.
Not getting a clear name.
That's okay. Is there anything else that you'd like to share about your time on this ship?
No, I was, a raw deckhand, so I do a lot of menial work and learning how to do all the different jobs on the ship.
And how do you like it? How do you feel about it?
I like it. It's okay. It's a lot of hard work, but you get to see a lot of different places and you get a little bit. It seems like my mother must be still alive because I'm sending a lot of my pay back to her. So I don't have a lot of money, and my clothes are getting kind of raggedy because they're getting wore out. I need to get some better clothes, but I can't keep taking stuff down to the there's just one of the sailors is just sewing, and well, there's more than one of them, and they do sewing, so I keep having my stuff repaired. But I need to buy some more new stuff because it's just getting to the point where it can't be repaired, and we don't really make that much money. But
Okay, and what year is it when you joined the ship?
I think 1768 is when I came up.
Okay. So what's a typical day like for you?
Oh, they ring the bell and you get up pretty early, about 5 a.m., and you get in line and get served your breakfast and then you assign your tasks for the day. You know, whether you're going to be a lookout or whether you're going to be scrubbing or you're going to be repairing ropes or canvas, or, you know, mostly I'm helping out the sailors that specialize in that stuff. They've got the experience to be doing that stuff. I'm helping them out, so I'm learning how to do it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, well, let's move ahead to 1774
Okay.
and tell me where you're at.
I'm on a warship. I'm on the USS Constitution. And we're sailing. And we're getting our guns ready. There's a British ship approaching from off our port side. It's quite a ways off yet, but he is approaching and we're approaching them, so there's going to be a battle. Actually, it's during the war. It's not 1774. It's later. It's during the war with Britain.
Okay, so 1776.
I think it's 78.
Okay. Did you volunteer to be on a warship?
No. I think it was more availability. A lot of the merchant ships that people say were working on had been were being captured by the British, and the sailors impressed into the British Army, British Navy, and that. So it's like a narrowing opportunity, and again, they were advertising for able-bodied seamen to serve. So I guess in a way I did volunteer because
Is the pay better?
Well, not really. You didn't get paid a lot because the government didn't have a lot, so you didn't get paid a lot. And
Do you have a family of your own?
no, I've been at sea too much.
Okay. So go ahead and tell me about the fighting.
Well, I can see the below deck. I'm on the gun level, and the cannons are on the one side, the port side. The cannons are firing one after another. Noisy smoke, a lot of smell of the powder, and people are yelling and reloading their gun, and there's a gunnery officer telling them when to fire, and we're getting hit too with cannon from the other ship. It's more like a skirmish than a real full off battle. I'm not quite sure. It doesn't seem to last that long.
Okay. So go ahead. Then is there anything else that you'd like to share about this experience?
Yeah, my cousin Donnie's with me on the ship. He's another sailor with me.
Mm-hmm. And what's his name?
John. I don't have a last name. I just know him as John.
Okay. And what does John do? Is he just a crewman like you?
He's yeah, but he's got a little higher rank than just being a seaman. He's got more experience, and I'm not quite sure. He's like a bosun. Which is kind of like a sergeant, I guess, if you were in the military, in the Army.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm not quite sure what the rank means. But he's a, he's got a section of the crew that he is in charge of.
Okay, that's interesting. Go ahead and move ahead 3 months and tell me where you're at.
We're back on shore. And ship is moored, and we're back on shore and just on the dock. And I'm in civilian clothes. And I'm leaving to go someplace. I don't know where. I think I've been wounded.
Are you walking?
I'm walking, but my arm's in a sling. So I think that's why they're putting me off the ship, because I'm not able-bodied anymore. I got wounded. And I've got to get I'm wearing clothes and a tricorn hat for the day, but I've got like a suit jacket on, not a real fancy one, but my arm's in a sling, my left arm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what town are you in?
Boston.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to say about this situation?
A lot of people milling and walking around doing their business. Merchants getting shiploads of stuff or loading shiploads of stuff, and getting stores. There's taverns there. There's girls walking in pairs. Some of them are carrying baskets of flowers that they're trying to sell flowers. It's just all sorts of activity going on.
Okay.
The ships, there's several ships there, all tied up and moored. There's provisions being put on them.
Okay. Let's go ahead then and move ahead 3 more months and tell me where you're at.
I'm back at our farm. My mother's very elderly, and I'm back there. I'm still having trouble with my arm. It's still in a sling. So I'm trying to help out around the farm, and it's pretty run down because she hasn't been able to keep it up, and my father's passed. And I don't know, I haven't. My 2 older brothers are off in the Continental Army. And my 2 sisters live far enough away that they don't come over and help. So my mother's there by herself. She's getting to be quite elderly, so I'm there trying to help out with what I can with one arm and that. So.
Okay. All right. Do you have any further contact with John since you've been home?
John was killed in a battle. I was wounded.
Ah. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and move forward a year and tell me where you're at.
Still at the farm. My mother's passed away, and I'm still trying to keep the place together. And it's just hard working with one arm. Apparently, my arm is disabled, and so I'm working when I can with it. And apparently, I'm doing okay. Because I still got the farm, and I'm able to do the plowing, and it just takes me longer to hitch up the horse, and it takes me, I gather the eggs, I do this, I do that.
Okay. Is anybody living there with you?
There's a young lady there. I call her more of a young girl there. She's about 16. I can see her how she's dressed. And and that, and I guess she's my wife. Or she's a girl that's going to be my wife. She comes over and helps. She's a neighbor's daughter. And she comes over and helps around the house and cooks meals. And that, but I don't think we're married right now. And she goes home at night in the evening, comes back in the day.
And so you have her hired to help.
No, not really. I'm not paying her anything. I don't have anything to pay her. I mean, what little money we get in goes to pay for stuff there. I think she just.
Okay, let's go.
I'm an eligible bachelor, I guess.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and move forward in your life 5 years.
Okay.
And tell me where you're at.
We're at the farm. I'm married to that young lady, and we have a daughter and a baby. And the daughter's about 3, and I'm not sure if the baby is a boy or a girl. I think the baby was just born. And the farm is all spiffied up, so we're doing, I guess, pretty good in that. We have about 14 acres, I think, that we're farming. So we got plenty of food, and we're able to sell some of the stuff we produce in the little town, and that gives us a little money to buy clothes or at least material to make clothes out of, and have a few amenities. But the house is very cozy.
Are you happy?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, that's awesome. What is your wife's name?
Danielle.
Okay, that's great. Okay, well, let's go ahead then. Is there anything else you'd like to say about this?
No.
Okay. Let's go ahead then and move forward to the final moments of your life. And tell me how old you are.
I'm 70. Let's see here. 72.
72? And are you alone?
No. My wife's there, and a son and a daughter, and her husband and their children, 2 children.
Okay, in summarizing your life, is there anything that do you have any regrets?
Oh, that I just wasn't able-bodied, that the wound I suffered crippled my arm, and so it prevented me from doing as much work as I could have done with 2 hands instead of 1.
Okay.